Welcome to Bear Lifestyle, the podcast where we speak up and speak out about all taboo topics and make them normal and acceptable. You are invited to be curious, to try something new, and stay open to provocative perspectives. I'm your host, Simona Spark, a best-selling author, international speaker, transformational coach, and so many other things. Beyond anything else, I'm a woman who stopped following other people's rules and started creating my own. In this space, we are going to get naked by stripping away insecurities, self-judgments, and all kinds of limitations so we can reach in for the essence of who we really are bare. Beautiful, authentic, real, and ever evolving. Thanks for listening. Hello, welcome back. I'm celebrating you, I'm celebrating me, I'm celebrating everyone with, what is this? Grapefruit water. Welcome back. I hope you are okay with cold sores because that's how I wake up this morning. So welcome back for those of you that have been following me for a while in this wonderful space, a Bear Lifestyle. And welcome for those of you are here for the first time. This is a space where, as I said in the intro promo, we want to strip away all the labels and judgments and really get to the essence of who we really are bare. When we talk about all the taboo topics with the intention of make them normal and acceptable, then we get to show up, fully beautiful, authentic, real, and with no restrictions and insecurities around fully express ourselves. So today, it's a very emotional day for me. September 13 was the date where I signed my new name. I'm sorry, I'm getting very emotional. Even though I did my session of crying before I jump on here. September 13 was the day where I signed my new name on the certificate of naturalization. Is the day where I become a US citizen. So my intention for today was to come here and talk about insecurities and how we don't show up fully, how we are afraid of being visible because of our own insecurities. And while scrolling through my Facebook feed this morning, I got those memories that you guys know by now that I really enjoy when Facebook remind us what we've been doing on this day last year, 2 years, 5 years ago. And I found this picture of me signing my new name on the certification of naturalization, becoming a US citizen. So I decided to incorporate that into this episode and talk about freedom. For me, from the day that I land in United States to the day that I become a US citizen, it took exactly 8 years, 8 weeks, and 8 days. And while I share my story with the whole world in my book, Raising My Voice, the memoir of an immigrant, I do want to share with you that the idea of freedom gets to be up level over and over and over again as we go through life. So once upon a time, I thought that moving from Romania to United States is going to give me the sense of freedom. I was looking for that freedom, freedom of speaking up, freedom of choosing how I want to live my life. And I thought that when I get my green card, I'm gonna get there. And I didn't. I did understand, I got a sense of freedom, freedom of living the country with the right to come back into the country, freedom of applying for a job, freedom of getting, all the benefits that the government of United States provide for the permanent residents. But I did not have the freedom to vote. I didn't have the right to vote. As a permanent resident of the United States, as a green card holder, I didn't have the right to vote. So I felt that I don't have a 100% freedom because I was missing that piece, right? So then years later, I become a US citizen. And that gave me all the rights that any permanent resident has, but also the right to vote. So I thought that I made it to the land of freedom, right? And it was not. It was not, because was other things that were bubbling inside of me that didn't allow me to feel free. So those things have nothing to do with the labor, has nothing to do with the marital status, has nothing to do with one's citizenship or residency. All of those things are important and valuable, but the freedom is the inner freedom, the freedom that we feel between ourselves, the freedom to speak up, to show up, to go after our dreams, right? So what holds us back? What doesn't let us do that? Well, as we talked in many episodes prior, and most of you here know, the only thing that doesn't let us go after ultimate freedom, like living our dreams, that's the ultimate freedom that we want, right? Like to feel that we do whatever the hell we want to do. The thing that doesn't let us is our programming. Our programming, meaning the way that we've been raised, the belief system that we operate from, which most of these belief systems are beliefs that have been passed to us from our parents, from our grandparents, from society, school, and so on. But doing this work, the identity work, and helping my clients in my coaching practice with, how to shift the beliefs, how to update the beliefs, how to become the person that you want to be. And we got into a space where I start understanding that, yes, we clean up some programming, we clean up some beliefs, and yet people do not show up fully, myself included. So why is that? So I discovered that the things that doesn't let us show up fully are not necessarily the beliefs. We are very quick when we fully committed and we want to do this work, the inner work. We very fast we get those results. Very fast we get to identify a new belief system that match the identity that we have today. So, but the hardest part in all things is our habits. So here we are, we want to become this person, we become this person, we have a very clear idea of this new identity, shift and we replace them, whatever we need to do, and yet we are still behaving as the person who we used to be. So why is that? That is the habit, that is the hardest one to shift and change. So that being said, I want to invite you to look in your life where you, for sure, you are not the person that you used to be. For sure, you are done believing the things that you used to believe, but yet you are still behaving as you used to behave. And identify that that is the habit, and be gentle with yourself and ask yourself, what could be the next easiest, hear me out, the next easier step that you could take to shift that habit, right? I know what they say in this space, like you have to take the leap, you have to jump the cliff, you have to like, no, none of that. You don't have to, because that's what paralyze us, right? Because we want to take this huge step, but we don't have to. We get to take a tiny little step that feels easy to take, feels that it's in the direction that we are going, feels that yes, it's a new space that we want to walk through in, but we don't have to jump there. We could just take a little step, little by little, those little increments that we are changing every day and multiple times during one day, really depends of the situation and the circumstance. Those are the steps that's going to take us where we want to go. So how that ties into freedom and insecurity. I was having a coaching call the other day with one of my private clients, and we did a lot of work of shifting identity and beliefs and even habits. And yet, for whatever reason, she was not still showing up fully in being visible with her work, with her message, with her intention, with her purpose, like living her life fully. And we discovered that those damn insecurities, insecurities that doesn't let us show up fully. So think about, what are the things that you're insecure about? The things that you might say them out loud or even discuss it with people in your life, but I'm really looking for the insecurities that will you not even share with other people. The insecurities that you keep them like for yourself, right? Your secret. Because when you shift the belief, you take the steps, you do the things that you want to do to go after your dreams, what doesn't really let you show up 100% there, right? Like fully authentic, fully who you are insecurities. And here's the painful thing. Most of those insecurities has to do with how we look and how other people might judge us about how we look. And that's very sad, because those are like, they're so heavy. Those insecurities are so heavy and so powerful, but yet are the simplest thing that you could shift just like that. Here's an example. Yesterday, I have 2 cold sores, right? So my lips were a little bit deformed. This morning, I wake up with not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 of them. So for those of you that are watching me on a video here on YouTube or other channels that post the video for the podcast, you could see that, I have things going on my lips, and I can't even laugh fully or open my mouth fully because it hurts. So not too long ago, this will be a very huge insecurity that will not have me do the podcast this week, or will not have me recorded, like video recorded. I will probably do just audio, and has nothing to do with the belief, has nothing to do with the habits. It has to do with my insecurity about how I look, and also placing a judgment on my audience about how they might judge me, right? So 2 years ago, was September. 2 years ago, I decided that I no longer want to be afraid of camera. So the only way that I knew to overcome that fear, which was actually the insecurity of how I look, I decided to create a space, a group coaching space, where I'm inviting the clients to show up daily, every day for 30 consecutive days in this program. And I call it Spark Your Superpower. Believe it or not, that program is the hottest ticket that I have in my academy to this day, is the program that sells the most. And for this month, till the end of the month, I will actually make it 50% off for everyone that want to join that space. So look in the description, get the link. I created a code that will erase 50% off of the investment, and the code is superpower. So look in the description. But let me get back to the idea, what happened there. So hear me out. The fear was that I will mispronunciate things. Oh, I still do 2 years later, right? That I will lose the track of thought. I'm still doing it 2 years later. That I might lose my idea or my point, or people won't like it, blah, 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 blah. The list is going on and on and on and on. And you might have yours, right? So I was so afraid of, first of all, that I'm not going to look good, that the universe arranged everything for me to be right, as usually happen. And I was scheduled for the eye surgery like 2 days before the day one of the program. So by the time I show up for my first day, I had stitches, I have bruised eyes. So, you know, it took all my makeup skills that I learned up until that point to cover, to do all the things. And I did show up. It was no going back, because I have 16 people sign up for this program, and they're already in a group, and they're ready for the day, for the time to show up in live videos as I promised. So I show up and I told them what happened. And here's the thing, if I haven't told them, nobody will know. So it's just another evidence that we make this story make believe and scary, that it has nothing to do with the reality, really. So over time, I'm telling you, for the past 2 years, you won't even know how many times I could have said no to showing up, to being visible, because of whatever imperfections. Today is included with this constellation of cold sores on my lips. So insecurities are very, very powerful things. They're holding us back. And it's not that we will get rid of them, but here's what's happening. When we show up anyway with the insecurities, and we are open about it and transparent about it, and we still allow ourselves to be visible and follow through with the commitments, with the promises, with the purpose, with the mission, with the message, this is how we get that power from the insecurities. We take it back. We take it for ourselves, and more than that, we allowed our audience, our clients, our people to show up as well. I don't know what perfection is, but I'm at the point in my life where perfection goes in a different category for me, goes into inner freedom. I feel, I can't speak for everyone, but I'm going to speak for myself. The freedom of showing up no matter what. The freedom of making my own hours. The freedom of traveling. I'm tuning in from Thailand, you know, from last week. I'm still in Thailand. The end of the week, I'm going to fly to Bali. I don't know for how long I'm going to be there. Like that level of freedom, the freedom of saying, hey, I won't do my podcast episode this week because, you know, I don't like how my lips look or feel. And then catching myself, yes, I get to not do the episode. I really get to not do it. But what is the reason? The reason is because I don't want to show up in front of camera with those things on my lips. Well, that enough reason to hold me back and don't actually speak about the exactly damn thing? No, no. I have the freedom to show up in my imperfection and invite other people from our audience or our viewers to say, hey, it's okay. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have a bad hair day. It's okay to have a cold sore. It's okay to have a pimple. What is important to you? What is important to you? Is it to show up like perfectly, whatever the perfection is by whatever standards? Or is it important for you to show up because you said you would? And here's the thing. For the longest time, I was afraid of failing. So the reason that I didn't show up or I didn't go after my dreams was because I was afraid that I'd be failing, and was not even, hear me out, I want to believe that I'm not the only one, was not even that I'll be failing to get to that dream, as it was like what people will say if I fail, when I fail. Do you hear me? Why is that? It's our own insecurities, our own insecurities. So if I have a desire, a dream, it was not put in me, or I didn't get inspired to go after creating this thing just to drop it. I was inspired, I desire it to go after it and make it real. And you know what? In this journey, yes, it's going to be failing. I promise you, not everything is going to be nice and smooth. But failing is not killing the dream. Fear and insecurity does. Fear and insecurity does, because fear and insecurity, it stops you and won't let you go. So if you are afraid that you're going to fail, and that's the reason you don't go after your dream, for sure, you're not going to get your dream. But guess what? The desire of having it will never die. And that's what makes people miserable. I know, I've been there. And then on the other hand, if you realize and you accept that it's not going to be a smooth ride, and when I say that, it's not that, oh, it has to be hard. It doesn't have to be freaking hard, but it gets to be, you know, we learn new things, we learn new skills. So of course, we're not going to do it perfect. Of course, we're not going to get it right at the first try or second try or 10, 100 times try, but we're going to get there. Everybody has their own speed and everybody need to follow their own path. But really being intentional about where are we going? And yes, didn't work. What am I doing now? I get to get up and keep on going. You know, maybe you hear me before, but a decade ago or so, when I was like homeless and living in a women's shelter, I dared to dream that one day I'm just going to travel the world. And I get to do that. I get to do that for the past few years, you know, but this time, even that get to be up level. I literally sold everything that I had in Los Angeles a couple of weeks ago. It's been 2 weeks now. And I decided to just go and do what I always dream about. And look, I'll be fully honest, I'm still processing. I'm still processing this. It feels unreal to look at my calendar and I have no fly back. There is no going back ticket. And I'm keep looking like, okay, I'm in Thailand. Let me go to Bali. I'm sorting the visa and extensions and how long can I stay? And then where do I want to go next, and book those flights. And and every time I'm there in that space, it hits me like, oh my God, I'm not going back. And it's weird. It's very weird. And it like, I don't even know how to feel about it. I have all these feelings of up and downs. Like I'm excited, like, oh my God, I'm actually freaking living the life that I always wanted, to just have a suitcase and just travel from country to country. And in the same times, I'm like, oh my God, am I doing this? So I'm processing, okay? It's been 2 weeks when I actually start doing this lifestyle, one-way ticket lifestyle, and I'm still processing. And it's just like moments of up and down. Like this morning I was talking with my kid and he was like, how are you doing? And I just burst in tears. And it was not even tears of sadness, it was tears of, I don't even know what. And I just get to be transparent with him and say, hey, I'm just on this roller coaster of up and down emotionally. And this is how this phase processing looks like. So you'll know when I get there, whatever there is in this particular space. But today I want this episode to be about the power that our insecurity hold over us and how we could just take him back by simply taking a tiny, easy step towards our dreams. So we take that power back, and the freedom that get to be unleashed between ourselves when we do so. That freedom of saying yes to following our dreams. And it gets to be messy. It doesn't have to be perfect. And it gets to be sad and happy and exhilarated and thrilling and confused. And it gets to be all the things. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm going to sleep here in this apartment in Thailand and I'm actually living the dream that I wanted. And I trust myself that I will process all these feelings. And most importantly, knowing that I'm in the middle of this level of transformation and it's nothing to be afraid of. And I cannot wait to be on the other side of this, just to see who am I becoming and what am I learning. Because I'm telling you, from where I'm at right now in the midst of all these things, I have no clue what I'm learning. All I know is that I am learning. What? I have no idea, but I will let you know. So in closing, again, I want to remind you that Spark Your Superpower goes on 50% off for the month of September, just to celebrate 2 years since that program was launched first, with the code Superpower. So open in the description or just go on my website to Simona Spark /Spark Your Superpower, and in the checkout page, just put the code Superpower to shave off 50%. And there is still time to register for the Bear Woman retreat in Bali. It's going to happen between from 3 to 8 of October. So I'm flying there this Friday, and I'm looking forward to meet you and to play with me for 5 days and 5 nights in this luxurious villa, all inclusive, and to dive into the bear experience. So I hope I get to see you there. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me on any social media platforms or email me to transformation@simonaspark.com. And until next time, I wish you to have a bear day. Show up fully, show up beautifully, authentically, real, and fully express. See you next time. Thank you for tuning in today. I would love to hear from you. What inspired you? What triggered you? And what interests you? Please join the conversation by leaving your comments and your insights. Explore more about Bear Experience at simonaspark.com/bear. I hope you listen, follow, rate, and review all of our episodes. I can't wait to have you back. Till then, be Bear. Beautiful, authentic, real, and ever evolving.